Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, and all non binary persons. Welcome to Jay Green's Justified. I have Dr. Jamar Montgomery, and he is here to talk to us about is the US dollar collapsing? So we're going to go right over to Dr. Jamar Montgomery. If you would, Doc, introduce yourself.
Brother Jonathan Green, thank you so much for having me on your show. I'm so appreciative. My name is Dr. Jamar Montgomery, aka the crypto politician, but I like to think of myself as more of a statesman because I don't get involved in party sides. What I do get involved in is making sure that our nation is taken care of and on the right track. So I'm a mechanical engineer. I am an advisor to federal and state political campaigns. I am a lawyer as well as a father. So very excited to be here. Someone that is very committed and invested in our nation and in global politics and global affairs.
And it is good to have a kindred spirit in the house, in that you are a father, a comrade in the struggle for equality, and we were law school classmates. It's good to see you tonight. So I want to jump right into it tonight. Is the US dollar collapsing? And if so, what does the collapse of the US dollar mean?
Well, that's a good question. The United States dollar is not collapsing. Rather, the United States dollar control over global finance and global economics is collapsing. Not necessarily the dollar is collapsing, but United States control over global financial markets and also global economy is collapsing, primarily by being the reserve currency or the primary reserve currency of the world. What that means to be the primary reserve currency is that all the other countries' central banks have United States dollars stored up, or financial instruments, United States financial instruments like treasury bonds and treasury bills stored up as part of their assets of their central banks, meaning
Okay.
that at any given time that they have their currency, let's say the Venezuelan bolivar, right, or the Mexican peso,
Mm.
that their banks have United States dollars on hand so that they can trade with another country that may not take their own currency. In, a,
Ah.
in addition, there's a thing called the petrodollar, which means that the oil that we buy from Saudi Arabia and from other countries are priced in dollars. Well, what does that mean? That means that even though you might be, like we said, Venezuela or Mexico, that you have to have dollars because the people who are selling oil only accept dollars as payment. So the only
Mm.
way that you can get dollars is from the United States. Does that make sense?
Yes, that does make sense. It really brings to mind what we're seeing in the news a lot nowadays, where the US dollar is being replaced by other currencies in the world, in particular Chinese currency.
Well, when you domestically create more money, and the way that you create more money is by creating an IOU debt.
Say a country no longer utilizes the US dollar. Does that devalue the US dollar because it's not in circulation as much?
That's the thing, is that when we create these treasury bonds, these IOUs, this promissory note, that is the asset that is backing this new introduction of currency.
Okay.
We as individuals can invest in the companies and projects that are providing those technologies to those banks and to those governments.
To wrap up, I want to thank you for taking us through the journey you've taken us through and answering that original question, is the US dollar collapsing? The last question I want to ask, is there anything you want to leave us off with?
Absolutely, absolutely. Um, be prepared. And the way that you are prepared is by understanding how money works, literally how money works. A lot of us really don't understand how our money works, how our government utilizes money, and also just how important it is for us to be politically involved and economically informed, right? And economically involved and economically informed. The way that we do that is by investing in cryptocurrencies. Uh, the way that we do that is by investing in our education. The way that we do that is by knowing what's going on in our local government because it is formed without any substance. However, politics controls where your economics goes. Politics controls economics. Visit drjamarmontgomery.com for everything politics, education, and crypto.
And the last word from me, Jay Green the Revolutionary. In the words of Doc Montgomery, be prepared. Be prepared. And remember, ignorance of the law is no excuse. Once again, thank you for tuning in to Jay Green's Justified. Make sure you follow me at Jay Green the Revolutionary on Facebook and Instagram. This has been a production by J. Garrett Green and Associates, not to be considered legal advice or financial advice.